A regular meeting of the City Council held in the Council Chamber on Thursday, January 10th, 2019 at 7:00 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice that this meeting was posted on January 8th, 2019 at 9:31 a.m. This meeting is being taped and is live on SATV. Councilors absent? None. All present. Councilor Steve Dibble presided. Councilor McCarthy moved to dispense of the reading of the record of the previous meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? So voted. I request that everyone please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor Flynn.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start, as always, with public testimony. The public testimony shall not exceed 15 minutes. Public testimony is not a public hearing or question and answer period. Your name must have been placed on the roster 30 minutes prior to the meeting start by 6:30, and you're only permitted to speak on items that are on the agenda. So with that, let's move to public testimony. We have Biff Michaud signed up. I didn't see Biff. No, okay. Kate Fox. Hello, Kate. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, good evening. I'm Kate Fox. I'm the Executive Director of Destination Salem, located at 81 Washington Street, Suite 204. Happy New Year. I don't want to take a lot of time because I know that the order proposing a ticket tax, a tax on entertainment that is on the agenda this evening will likely be referred to Committee on Administration and Finance. I look forward to the opportunity to speak more about the benefits of our tourism industry at that time, but I wanted to let you all know the tourism industry has noticed the order, and we have some concerns, and we'll certainly have questions and look forward to a continued discussion. And if I can be a resource or answer any questions that councilors may have in the meantime, I am happy to do so.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have Jeff Cohen, please.
Jeff Cohen, 12 Hancock Street. First, I encourage you to vote unanimously to support and vote for the Lorax ordinance and show gratitude to all the people who work so hard from the Lorax Committee and others, volunteers. Number two, January 21st is the MLK Freedom March and Vigil at Salem State. No Place for Hate is a co-sponsor as usual, and I encourage everyone to show up. It's just a couple hours, and it's a great event to commemorate Martin Luther King. And third, I do want to express appreciation and support for the council's proposed rule change about committee of the whole. I do want to encourage as well that the subcommittees of government services, economic development, public health, safety and the environment attempt to meet on a monthly basis. As vice chair of the Sustainability, Energy and Resiliency Committee, we were fulfilled to speak in front of that committee, and we'd like to do so again on a more regular basis and try to work with the subcommittee to make Salem a more sustainable and resilient community. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay, hearings, none. Appointments and reappointments.
Held from the last meeting, the mayor's appointment of Cynthia Nina Soto of Salem to serve on the Scholarship and Education Committee with a term to expire on June 1st, 2019.
Councilor Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion.
Yes, Cynthia is a great constituent of mine. I'm really excited that she wants to volunteer to be on the Scholarship and Education Committee. She expressed to me that two things that she believes that make the community great are education and housing. Those are her two passions. So I'm really excited that she wants to volunteer to make Salem even better in that way, and I hope that we will vote to confirm that.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've had the opportunity of knowing Cynthia for a while. She's a wonderful person with a beautiful family. I got to see some of her work that she does in real estate, top-notch, first class. I know she's very involved with helping people, first-time homeowners, Latino first-time homeowners, and she's really intricate in the community, and we're very lucky to have her, and welcome aboard.
Agreed. Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had to say something about my good friend Cynthia Nina Soto. And I'm going to speak from my heart because I know Cynthia like a family. I know Cynthia for more than about 30 years. I don't want to reveal my age, but actually it happened that I used to be a teacher of her baby sister. And when I met Cynthia, Cynthia was like a mother for her, but she's been that way in our community. I really agree with Councilor Flint that the city will benefit a lot to having Cynthia on that community. So I'm very happy, Cynthia, that you will be able to be involved in that capacity in our city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Torrio.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Peterson.
Yes.
Councilor Milo.
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Madore.
Yes.
Councilor Gerard.
Yes.
Councilor Fury.
Yes.
Councilor Flint.
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez.
Yes.
And Councilor Dibble.
Yes.
In just a moment.
11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Councilor Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we suspend the rules in case Ms. Nina Soto would like to address the council.
Just have to say, Cynthia Nina Soto, 6 Laurent Road. Okay. Thank you. I'm very excited for this. As Councilor Peterson says, housing and education are my passion, and being in real estate, I realize that we as realtors have the opportunity to change people's lives, and I just want to be able to give you a little bit of me and then bring back a little bit of you to the people that aren't able to be here and know about it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilor Fury.
Mr. President, on a point of personal privilege, if I may, you're going to replace a very wonderful man, Dr. Joseph Solano, a good friend of mine, Dr. Joseph Solano. And I served with Dr. Solano on the school committee. I had him as a teacher when I was going to college, and I served with Dr. Solano right next to him, like I'm sitting next to Councilor Gerard, for 12 years in the school committee. And he's the one who started the OTA program that we have some nice memories of, the OTA Japanese Exchange Program. And Dr. Solano's the epitome of the essence of public service. Now, I'm requesting that maybe Mr. President and City Clerk to send a city seal on our behalf saying, thank you very much for being an outstanding educator for the city of Salem. He's what education is all about, Dr. Joseph Solano. If we could send a city seal, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Fury. Good suggestion. Further appointments and reappointments.
The mayor's reappointment of Kylie Sullivan of Salem to the Bicycle Advisory Committee with a term to expire on January 14th, 2020.
Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Yes, under discussion. Thank you.
Mr. President. Kylie has been a phenomenal member of the Bicycle Advisory Committee. We're very fortunate to have her as she's the executive director of Salem Main Streets. I do want to note, however, that she's no longer my constituent. She does live in Beverly, but because she lives in Beverly, I did check with the city solicitor on this if she is allowed as a non-resident, and for advisory committees that there is no residency requirement. So this is absolutely okay. So I didn't want, if anybody heard from any constituents or anything, I just wanted to make sure that people were aware that we know she lives in Beverly and it is okay by our ordinances. So I do move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Torrio.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Peterson.
Yes.
Councilor Milo. Yes. Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Madore.
Yes.
Councilor Gerard.
Yes.
Councilor Fury.
Yes.
Councilor Flynn.
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilor Dibble.
Yes. Thank you, Madam City Clerk. 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative. The matter carries. Council Gerard?
Nope.
Yes.
Say appointments, further appointments and reappointments.
Further appointments and reappointments.
Got it.
Council Gerard?
No.
Nope. Mayor's reappointment of Eric Papetti of Salem to the Bicycling Advisory Committee with a term to expire on January 14th, 2020.
Council Gerard?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Eric is a phenomenal member of the Bicycling Advisory Committee. He actually works for the Federal Transportation Administration, and he moved here, oh gosh, I want to say like 4 years ago with his husband, and he has so embraced Salem, and this has become, as I said, his and his husband and their amazing dog Sally's home, and we're grateful that that he wants to continue serving on this board.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Council Torrio?
Yes.
Council Sargent?
Yes.
Council Peterson?
Yes.
Council Milo?
Yes.
Council McCarthy?
Yes.
Council Madore? Yes. Council Gerard?
Yes.
Council Fury?
Yes.
Council Flynn?
Yes.
Council Dominguez?
Yes.
Council Dibble?
Yes. Thank you. 11 councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative. The matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
Be the mayor's reappointment of William Legault of Salem to the Disabilities Commission with a term to expire on January 14th, 2022.
Council Gerard?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Thank you. Briefly, I almost started saying Councilor Go, but Bill used to be a member of this body, and disabilities has always been near and dear to his heart, and he's been a great member, and again, I'm grateful that he wants to continue serving the city that he's grown up in. Thank you.
Any further discussion? There being none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Council Torrio?
Yes.
Council Sargent?
Yes.
Council Peterson?
Yes.
Council Milo? Yes. Council McCarthy?
Yes.
Council Madore?
Yes.
Council Gerard?
Yes.
Council Fury?
Yes.
Council Flynn?
Yes.
Council Dominguez?
Yes.
And Council Dibble?
Yes. Eleven councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative. The matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Kurt Enke Bouchamp to the Public Art Commission with a term to expire on January 11th, 2021.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm very happy that he wants to continue in this capacity, and I move that for confirmation by roll call vote.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Council Fury.
Just on a point of personal interest, you and I share something in common with Larry. Larry's one of the best scoutmasters.
This is Kurt.
Oh, I apologize. Instant replay?
You're wondering.
I apologize. Instant replay. Sorry about that. Testing. Sorry about that, Mr. President.
Okay, I'm ready. I'll hold you down.
Thank you. Hold me down.
It's better to be early than late. Any further discussion? Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Council Torrio?
Yes.
Council Sargent?
Yes.
Council Peterson?
Yes.
Council Milo?
Yes.
Council McCarthy?
Yes.
Council Madore?
Yes.
Council Gerard?
Yes.
Council Fury?
Yes.
Council Flynn?
Yes.
Council Dominguez?
Yes.
And Council Dibble?
Yes. Eleven councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative. The matter carries. Council McCarthy.
Nope. Further.
Oh, I'm sorry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Larry Spang, or Lawrence Spang, to Salem, to the Salem Historical Commission with a term to expire on January 10th, 2022.
Now, Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Larry's one of my neighbors, a great guy, adds a world of insight and wisdom to the Historical Commission. I wholeheartedly support his reappointment to this board.
Excellent. Any further discussion?
Instant replay. I apologize. Don't get old, please. Do not get old. Mr. President, you and I share something in common with Mr. Swang. Outstanding scoutmaster, made a lot of difference in so many lives, in my son's life, Johnny, as you have done over the years. And he's just an amazing person. Beautiful home down in Columbus. You've got a good neighbor, Councilor McCarthy, with Larry. He'll be a great appointment to the Salem Historic Commission, and just good memories of him, and we're lucky to have him, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counsel Turiel?
Yes.
Counsel Sargent?
Yes.
Counsel Peterson?
Yes.
Counsel Milo?
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Madore?
Yes.
Counsel Gerard?
Yes.
Counsel Fury?
Yes.
Counsel Flynn?
Yes.
Counsel Dominguez?
Yes.
And Counsel Dibble.
Yes. Eleven councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Lisa Lyons to the Salem Beautification Committee with a term to expire on January 10th, 2022.
Council McCarthy,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
under discussion.
On discussion, thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank Lisa for her continued efforts in trying to make Salem a more beautiful place, and the whole committee, I think they do wonderful work, and I would ask everyone to reappoint.
Any further discussion? There being none, Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counsel Turiel?
Yes.
Counsel Sargent?
Yes.
Counsel Peterson?
Yes.
Counsel Milo?
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Madore?
Yes.
Counsel Gerard?
Yes.
Counsel Fury?
Yes.
Counsel Flynn?
Yes.
Counsel Dominguez?
Yes.
Counsel Dibble.
Yes. Eleven councilors present, 11 voting in the affirmative, the matter carries. Communication from the mayor.
Mr. President.
Yes, Councilor Turiel.
Mr. President, I'd like to, I think there's a bunch of people here for our last item, and I would move that we go out of order to page 23 to unfinished business.
Here. All right, well, turn to page 23, please. Unfinished business.
We have a second passage of an ordinance, amending an ordinance relative to Chapter 43, trees.
Read the reading.
Waive the reading.
Councilor McCarthy.
Sure we don't want to read it? The president might want to read it.
So it's all
Pretty long. Thank you, Mr. President. I move for second and final passage.
Under discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under discussion. First of all, I want to thank everybody on the LARX committee for all the work they did. I want to thank former Councilor Mr. David Eppley for spearheading this movement and getting this going. I think there's a lot of good information in there. It was brought to my attention by a member of the LARX committee relative to a section that says, one member of the LARX committee, or if such committee is no longer exists, an interested individual selected by the commission, confirmed by the majority vote of the city council. The question was the placement of the word "if" and the fact that we actually referenced the LARX committee in the ordinance. And unfortunately, with all the good work, the LARX committee was formed in order to do the work to get us to this point. So the question was moving forward, there will be no LARX committee, so how do we deal with that, and why we have it in the ordinance? And then does the commission, or does any commission in the city have the ability to appoint its own member? Which is an interesting question, so I put the whole thing into the Beth and the legal department, and then Beth came back with some language that I think will rectify the situation. I showed it to a few people I had the opportunity to speak to prior to the meeting. I didn't get to everyone, I apologize, so there I will read it. So the language I just spoke about, one member of the LARX committee, or if such committee shall no longer exist, an interested individual selected by the commission, confirmed by a majority of the vote of the city council, will be replaced with one member of the LARX committee shall be appointed by the mayor for initial appointment to the tree commission, confirmed by a majority vote of the city council. If no such member of the LARX committee is available, the mayor shall make an appointment of an interested individual confirmed by a majority of the city council. All subsequent appointments shall be made by the mayor with a recommendation by the commission confirmed by the majority of the city council.
Where is the language?
Oh, it's in the makeup of the committee.
Page 25,
It is
section
page 25.
4312.
Page 25, thank you.
4312.
Number
2.
2.
Is that a motion, or should we hear further discussion first?
That'd be my motion.
I'll second it.
I second.
Second.
And it's, for everyone's clarification, it's following, it's on page 25, section 43, composition and meetings. If for those people who don't remember, this appointment initially was going to be a member of the Park and Rec Commission. And the discussion around that, after we had the meetings over this, was the parking rec, as I brought this change in prior to the first passage. The Park and Rec Commission has no jurisdiction over public trees, and the commission has no jurisdiction over trees and parks, so therefore, why would a member of the Park and Rec Commission be on the tree commission? So that was brought to my attention initially. We brought in language to make it seemingly that the Lorax Committee did a whole bunch of work, whether or not a member of the Lorax Committee would want to make that fill that initial position, and then have the commission themselves pick a member. Well, then the question was raised, well, no other commission in the city actually appoints their own members. So how do we do that? And so is that right? So then I brought that to the city solicitor, and her recommendation would be that because it's going to be that people are going to come to the tree commission meetings. They're going to be there. They're going to be interested in individuals. They see someone who has interest. They see someone who has put in an input. And then an appointment comes open. Who better to decide than the commission themselves? They make the recommendation to the mayor. The mayor brings it to us like every other appointment, and then we vote it up. That was the way to clean up this one little blurb in this whole document. So, but that would be my motion. I thank Councilor Terrell for second. And if there's any further discussion, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. But I think that just puts the final stamp on this, and hopefully it allows the commission to get formed and start doing the good work that we hope that intends that they do.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, under Council McCarthy's amendment, seconded by Council Terrell, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I further move for second and final passage.
As amended.
As amended.
As amended, thank you. On Council McCarthy's motion with the amendment to amend, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. The matter carries.
I move we return to our regular order.
Which was on what page now?
6.
7.
7? 7.
Communication from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $52,000 is hereby appropriated from the fund balance reserved for appropriation free cash account to the planning contracted services account in accordance with the recommendation of the mayor.
Council Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Seeing no objection, under discussion.
Yes, thank you. This is...
No, you got to move for adoption.
Oh, I move
Then-
for adoption. Move for adoption.
Now under discussion.
Now it's under
Move
discussion.
for adoption. Under discussion.
Thank you. This is an order for testing in preparation for planned improvements at Gallows Hill Park. It is $52,000, so I got a little bit more information. And we may have seen today, or yesterday, I think it was, the great news that we received a $400,000 grant from the state to help with proposed improvements to the park. But we still need this $52,000 to fund testing, boring samples, et cetera, to prepare the site for cleanup and the proposed design. So I move for adoption.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none. All those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further communication from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $15,451.44 be approved within the Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback Account for a library employee.
Council Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Seeing no objection, Council Peterson.
I move for adoption.
Under discussion.
Thank you. We thank Victoria Delamonica for her years of service at the library and wish her a very happy retirement. And I hope that we will adopt this.
Any further discussion? There being none. On Council Peterson's motion for adoption, all in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further communication from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $15,000 is hereby appropriated from the fund balance reserved for appropriation free cash account to the HR Legal Services arbitration account.
Councilor Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Seeing no objection, Council Peterson.
I move for adoption.
Under discussion?
Thank you. This is for as we know, the HR Legal Services Arbitration Account to cover current and unanticipated arbitration fees. Some from, I spoke to the HR director, some are from last year and some are upcoming. Last year was an underestimation of how much we would need, but this year, this should cover, she anticipates last year and this year.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none. On Council Peterson's motion for adoption, all in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further communication from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $8,054.40 be approved within the Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback Account to be expended for a DPS employee.
Council Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Seeing no objection, Council Peterson.
Thank you. I move for adoption.
Under discussion?
Yes, this is another retirement. We thank John Murray for his service at DPS and wish him a wonderful retirement from the city of Salem.
Any further discussion? There being none. On Council Peterson's motion for adoption, all in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Matter carries. Further communication from the mayor.
We have an order the sum of $3,664.38 be approved within the Retirement Stabilization Fund Sick Leave Buyback Account to be expended for a parking department employee.
Council Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Seeing no objections, Council Peterson.
I move for adoption.
Under discussion?
This is another retirement. Thank you to Mark Bates for his service to Salem in the parking department and wish him well.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Council Peterson's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further communication from the mayor.
We have an order to accept the donations listed below totaling $25,000 to be deposited into the North Shore Workforce Board in accordance with the recommendation of the mayor.
Council Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption.
Seeing no objection, Council Peterson.
Yes, I want to thank two foundations, the Susan Sherrill and Peter Mannis Foundation and the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving for their very generous donations to the North Shore Workforce Board, also known as MassHire and formerly the Career Center. They do great work getting our residents into jobs and providing employment retention services, so I hope we will adopt it.
Any further discussion? There being none. On Council Peterson's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Those opposed? Ayes have it. Further communication from the mayor.
We have an order that the City of Salem designer selection procedures adopted by the City Council on December 13, 1990 are hereby replaced in their entirety with new revised City of Salem designer selection procedures attached hereto. These procedures govern the selection of designers for city building projects that are subject to the Commonwealth of Mass Designer Selection Law, Mass General Law, Chapter 7C, Sections 44 through 58.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption.
Seeing no objection, Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. As seen in the letter from the mayor, we as a city adopted this in 1990. The state rules have changed, most recently in 2018. This is just so that the language reflects what the state law is. I mean, if the will is to move it to committee, I think it's just going to be a short conversation, but as I can see, all it does is mimic the state law, so I would move for adoption.
Any further discussion? There being none, on Council McCarthy's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further communication from the mayor?
We have an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to an endorsement of Chapter 14, Article 7, use of disposable plastic bags at retail business establishments.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd further move for adoption.
Seeing no objection, Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think, we as a city passed the ordinance last year, the year before, whenever it was here. And I think all this does is a simple addition which gives more enforcement to a broader spectrum of city personnel. And I think that anything we can do to help this will be is a good thing. So I don't feel the need to sit here and have a lengthy debate about it. I think it's just going to add the city's staff being able to enforce this rule. So I would move for adoption.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none, on Council McCarthy's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further communication from the mayor.
We have a resolution for the state action to combat nip bottle litter.
Council McCarthy. Oh,
Yes,
waive the reading. Somebody.
I'll read it if you want.
Nah.
No?
Would somebody please waive the reading?
We just said that. I move for adoption.
Not seeing any opposition. Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you can see, it's a resolution, it was brought in by the mayor. There's a lot of whereas, therefores. Basically, it's asking, we're just as a body is going to ask the state to consider putting a deposit on nip bottles. So we've all seen the Facebook posts. This has been a discussion I've heard batted around for years relative to the ability of, the bottle bill and how it could assist. I think just for the sheer fact, if we all remember all the apprehensions around the bottle bill when it was first passed about, soda cans, beer can, whatever it was, and I can honestly say from the individual that cleans out my bin, my recycle bin for things that I may have missed, and they go through and the streets themselves, I think this is just a tool that would, for the state to consider to help with a problem that's become, not so much just Salem, but I think it's a problem all over the place, specifically with regard to these little bottles and litter. It's not our decision. All this is doing is asking the state to consider it. So it's a resolution, so I would move for adoption.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Council Terrio.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a problem that is pretty significant in Salem and a lot of other cities. And this is not a perfect solution, but the solution of putting a deposit on nips to go with other canned and bottled beverages right now is something that could probably help encourage people to clean it up. We do have a Facebook page that has helped somewhat in Salem by drawing some attention to the problem and getting people to clean up, and that's made a bit of a dent, but still, it's still an ongoing problem, Salem and many other communities, and if the state would finally do something about it from the angle of hopefully deposit, that'll at least provide some incentive for people to pick these up and redeem them instead of, it would be fine if people put them in recycle bins too, but at least this gives some incentive to get these off the streets.
Thank you. Any further discussion? We're seeing none. On Councilor McCarthy's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Those opposed? The ayes have it. Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolution. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem in the year 2018, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic, Chapter 42, Section 57A, parking time limited, unmetered zone, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, amending Section 42, Section 57A by adding Grove Street beginning at 266 feet south of Railroad Crossing and running 70 feet south-southeast. 3 parking spaces in front of the building known as 28 Goodhue Street. The parking spaces are actually on Goodhue Street. 15-minute time-limited parking between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect as provided by City Charter.
Under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. This was actually something that, oh my God, yes, and I moved for adoption for first passage, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Being back on the floor again, it's been a while.
Yep. Under discussion.
Thank you. So this was something that we've been discussing for a bit, particularly especially with all the construction that's going on around the area and with ATG now up and fully running, that we want to make sure that especially residents at 28 Goodhue, that they have time if they need to drop off the groceries, if they want to, or if somebody wants to stop at the convenience store, that they can. And so I was very happy to speak with our new traffic commander, Lieutenant David Tucker, and get this going. So I ask for everyone's support in this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor? No? I'm sorry. On Councilor Gerard's motion for first passage, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem in City Council, January 10th, 2019, ordered that the fiscal year 2019 monthly financial report dated November 30th, 2018 be referred to the Committee on Administration and Finance. And I move for adoption.
Thank you. Under discussion? No discussion? Any further discussion? There being none. On Council Peterson's motion for adoption for first passage?
No, just regular adoption.
I stand corrected. On Councilor Peterson's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Milo.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem and City Council, January 10th, 2019, ordered that a representative or representatives from High Rock Development LLC appear before the City Council at one of its regularly scheduled meetings to give an update to the council regarding the status of the housing project abutting the Community Life Center. And I move for adoption.
Under discussion?
Under discussion, yes. Simply, this original proposal for this development, I think, included about 117 units. And given the need for housing here in Salem, and given the fact that the tax money from the proposed development was supposed to go to pay for the Community Life Center, I'm anxious to hear what's happening, and hopefully we can get something going so we can relieve some of the financial burden from the taxpayers.
Sure. Any further discussion? Councilor Fury.
Yes, please, Mr. President. I strongly concur with Councilor Milo. This is long overdue. The Council on Aging is already done. G&A Lubbock Community Life Center, a lifelong dream for many people in the city of Salem. And now we have a vacant, derelict eyesore on a major entrance corridor. And we have a shack in the middle of the project situation saying where it's going to be. Reality. This developer has been before the City Council time and again. It's now time to take serious action with this development saying where we're going to. We have the best economy going. Whether it's called the Obama economy or the Trump economy, but the economy is doing very well. Something should be there already. It's a distinct dishonor and a distinct eyesore to the city of Salem to have this major site, Bridge Boston Street, being vacant. Weeds, dirt, a neighborhood abutting it, it's a sin. And this developer has dragged his feet. And it doesn't have, I never would stand for this great developer. He's come here before on several occasions asking for delay. No more delays. Maybe a change in developer, something needs to be done. And we need to send a strong message. Thank you, Councilor Milo, for doing this. And I think something needs to be done. The strongest economy going, nothing there. That's an insult to the city.
Any further discussion? Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm not going to argue those points at all. I think they're all well spoken and well thought out. And I guess my only question is, what sort of subpoena power does the City Council have? We're asking a private individual to come in front of the City Council to appear. I mean, it would be different if the whole matter was referred to a committee, and as a committee, we ask the planning department or the mayor or someone to come in and invite him as a guest. But I guess my question is, what weight does this carry? I mean, I agree with everything that's been said. We should bring him in, but I guess the question is, what is the proper way to bring him in? Do you refer it to a committee, Community and Economic Development, and have the different departments in? I know that this project is tied to the Community Life Center, but I don't know into how the financials first originally looked at it. But I guess my question is, as a city, he's a private developer. At what point does the city have the ability to order a citizen to come in and appear before us? I guess that's my question. I think, and I'll leave it at that. I think for me it would be more if you send it to a committee and then you allow that committee to invite the mayor and this representative in. I don't know if we have that authority. That would be my question.
Yeah. I think I agree. I agree with you. I think rather than the order, that if we did a polite request for him to come in for an update before our committee. With that, back to Councilor Milo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Maybe we just change the wording of the order and say that I have to look at the wording there, but make it a request.
Yes.
Frankly, I would prefer that this not go to a committee, only because this is something that affects really the whole city. And I really think that it's important that everybody have the opportunity to see what's going on,
on this project and have it done in front of the council as opposed to a committee that's not publicly broadcasted.
Are you suggesting inviting them to a hearing?
No, but I don't, can we change the wording and order that an invitation be extended to?
Council Gerard, then Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. When I read this, because we've had Mr. Sweetser in before, and we have requested him come before this body, and when I read this sounded like exactly when we have asked him in before, because that was like our first term when he came.
Yeah.
So this didn't strike me as anything different when we've asked him in here before. So I don't know do you remember the wording differently?
No, I don't.
I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I think this was the same wording.
It could very well be.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I respect what everyone's trying to do. I have no problem with asking Mr. Sweetser to come in. It's just when I read the word ordered and then da-da-da-da, it's like, for me personally, I mean, I don't know what authority this body has to order anyone to come in and appear before it. I mean, even when we have committee meetings, we have invitees. We invite people, whether the department heads, the police chief, fire chief, whoever they are, to come in to address whatever issue. I don't have a problem with somehow getting Mr. Sweetser in front of us to talk. I guess mine is more of what's the proper way to do it, because I don't know if order is the right way. I understand what everyone's trying to do. I don't disagree with it. For me, it's like, an order sounds like you're ordering someone, and I don't think we have that authority. We don't have like subpoena power.
Council Milo. Council Milo?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll just say this, and I'll let the debate go, but I would say we're going to obviously extend an invitation, and we all know that if Mr. Sweetser doesn't show up, nobody's going to go get him and bring him out in handcuffs. I would hope that as a developer working in the city, he would respect the wish of the council. It's not an order, but it is a wish, that he come before us and just let us know what's happening.
Fair enough.
Council Turio.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think just to clarify this, we're passing an order, but he's not going to get a letter in the mail from the city clerk that says you are hereby ordered. He'll get a request in the mail from the city clerk, who will write it exceedingly politely, I'm sure, and we'll work something out. But it's an order because it's under motions, orders, and resolutions, so it's an order.
Any further
Just the way it
discussion?
comes across.
Yeah.
Points and underline
Any
words.
further
Hitting him in the
discussion?
face with a wet fisher.
There being none. On Councilor's motion to adopt, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Turio.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem City Council, January 10, 2019, ordered that the rules and orders of the City Council shall be amended by adding the following. Section 30A, Committee of the Whole. The Committee of the Whole shall consist of all members of the council and be chaired by the president or their designee, and shall meet separately when required to address matters before it. And I move that this be held until the next meeting.
Under discussion.
Yeah, very briefly, we'll talk about this more, I'm sure, in 2 weeks, but we had for many, many years in the city council, long before my tenure began in 2012, and for literally decades before that, we had a custom that had evolved in the city council, and nobody knows quite when, where, like the school committee and other elected bodies often do, they have a committee of the whole which is treated separately, where it's a committee that consists of all members of the city council, and it's chaired normally by the president. And we have used that sparingly in past years, and we've used it to take some larger issues. For instance, when we discussed the funding for the senior center, which has just been done, we did that through a committee of the whole format. And that allowed us to have a committee format, which is far more informal, allows us to interact with the public and have real public discussion and debate. It allows us to work in a much more efficient manner for these kind of issues. And it wasn't used terribly often. It was used generally for some of those kind of big issues. A committee of the whole format would be a great place to invite Mr. Sweetser, for instance, for us to work with. And because of some tactical moves that were made since it was in a couple of years ago, the year I was president, it wound up being torpedoed. and we've lost the ability to use that tool because it wasn't established by rule. It was established, however it was, through a reading of the of the greater rules that we're organized under Cushing's. So this is something that that's been discussed a couple times in the last couple of years, and we discussed it on Saturday at our retreat pretty extensively. But it's simply put, it's a tool for us to be able to have the president organize a meeting of everybody, which allows all of us to make motions, all of us to participate, and to interact with the public as necessary. It's used very sparingly, but it should be one of our tools. So I've put this in, and this also relates to the next order that I have as well. So we can discuss this more thoroughly and debate it It will require 8 votes if we want to pass it. But this is a fairly simple matter that just restores something that we've used for a long time.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Marlowe.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have to tell you that this is something I feel very passionate about, and while the Ward 5 Councilor's explanation makes it sound like a very benign matter, I believe that if we end up adopting this, it will actually circumvent the whole legislative process. We have 5 committees, 5 standing committees. We can co-post for all of those committees. Everybody can have an opportunity to speak. The only difference is they don't have a vote, right? The other thing we can do is if there's something in committee that folks want to pull out, we have a vehicle for doing that. We have 8 votes. We can, with 8 votes, pull a matter out of committee. So I would, I'm going to go on record today as saying, in 2 weeks, I'm not going to support this. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Councilor Fury.
Mr. President, I strongly concur with Councilor Terrio. Having served in the City Council for 22 years, this process is a great process. We only meet 19 meetings a week, 19 meetings a year. And this is one of the meetings. We need in-between meetings to get things done. You can see in some subcommittees, particularly OLA, Ordinances, Licensing, and Legal Affairs, things get stuck in there. On and on and on. And things get stuck in committee. On and on. That's not legislative process. That's not democracy in action, especially on the local level. This is where the rubber hits the wheel, local level. And these committee, council of the whole committees, very positive, very productive. And I concur with Councilor Terrio. We had a very healthy discussion on Saturday. It brought out some good things. It was public invited. It was a very serious situation. And I think I credit Councilor Terrio for doing it. I'll be bringing a late file in to do a further discussion of what we did on last Saturday's meeting. And I think it was very productive. And I think we'll make a better city council, a better local government. And I'm looking forward to good discussions. Thank you, Councilor Terrio.
Any further discussion? You have 2 hands. I think yours up first. Councilor Gerard, then Councilor Sargent.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with my colleague to my right and the good Ward 5 councilor that when we had Committee of the Whole, when I first started on council, at that time we were talking about civil service, and it was such an important discussion that we all not only had a voice in the discussion, but we also all had a vote. And then it still came out to the city council, but we got everything done in the Committee of the Whole. And not having the Committee of the Whole, as the good Ward 5 councilor described, not having that as a tool, it has logjammed things in so many ways, and it's been unfair, and it's been an incredibly, it's made things so much more difficult to actually get things done. And what it ends up doing is when we push things off to our committees, then we're giving 3 people the power to hold things up in committee and to not allow the other 8 of us to be able to discuss or to vote on things. And so it's time to end this. And frankly, we're the city council. We get to make the rules. And so we can change this, and we should absolutely change this. Thank you.
Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Mr. President. I actually kind of like the way things have been going through the years. You know, either we have committees or we don't. And we have 5 standing committees. And that's the way things work at the local level, state and federal government. It's the way our democracy works. Things are worked out in committee. And you have to be able to convince people to support something, to vote for something, you know, and so forth. We follow Cushing's rules, and either, you know, I kind of believe if we either follow them or we don't. And Cushing's rules has Committee of the Whole. And Committee of the Whole is as we example of Mr. Sweetser coming in. It's meant on the floor tonight, the public can't speak. There can be no public input right now. But we'd have to suspend the rules. When something gets tied up and overly discussed, almost as we're doing right now, the council president can ask to go to Committee of the Whole. and appoint the chairman of committee of the whole for a time certain, 10, 20 minutes, and that gets discussed. As with Mr. Sweetser, we can give him an open invitation. He can show up here for a council meeting in the future, and the minute he shows up, the president can call to break into committee of the whole. We can talk to him about the development at the senior center, et cetera. And then at a certain time, we break back into full council meeting. That's what committee of the whole is meant for. When we have the 11 of us here, 11 are going to vote anyways. The discussion gets tied up. We need public input. We need to have a department head speak. That's what committee of the whole is meant for. So, thank you.
Any further comment? Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just one last follow-up on this before we move on to the next one. So virtually, pretty much everything that has been said by everybody so far is correct. And we do have some powers. We have the power to, if we wanted to, we could, like we did 2 years ago during the Sanctuary for Peace debate, we created an ad hoc committee consisting of every member of the city council. We used a mechanism in order to do that, and that was effectively, because the committee of the whole had been killed the year before, that we effectively created it for a one-time use. So we have the power to do that as needed, and we have done so. Simply having this in our rules, and yes, because somebody interpreted Cushing's at some point before any of us began our service on the city council to create this and use it, and they never bothered establishing it as a formal rule. It's just simply something that when I started on the city council, with now Senator Lovely as the president that year, it was something we used a few times. When my other colleagues, when former Councilor Ryan was president, we used it occasionally. Councilor McCarthy used it as president. Councilor Sargent used it as president. I used it as president the early part of the year. It's something that was a tool that was available to us that we all participated in when needed or when asked, and we decided as a body when to refer something there or whether to refer it directly to a subcommittee. So I think it's harmless it doesn't cause harm to the body to put it in there. It's something that we as a body decide if and when it can be used by making the motion and passing it to put it in there. And almost everything that we deal with is better suited to going to a subcommittee. But there are times when it may not be, and to have this available, I think, is an effective way to, returning to having this available is an effective way for us to be able to get things done.
Any further discussion? There being none. Under Councilor Terrio's motion to hold the matter until the next meeting, this will require a 2/3 vote. All those in favor? See hands?
Wait.
You asking for a roll call?
No, this is just,
This to hold it, so.
we're all agreeing to hold it.
Yeah.
This isn't
Yes.
requiring the 2/3.
This is not a,
And the vote to adopt.
To adopt it will require 2/3.
2/3.
The rules change requires 2/3?
That's the date,
Madam
right?
City Clerk. On Councilor Terrio's motion to hold the matter until the next meeting, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it.
By rule, it has to be held to the next meeting anyway.
Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem City Council, January 10, 2019, ordered that the rules and orders of the City Council shall be amended as follows. Section 22, numbering member seats, determining seats, changing seat, shall be deleted in its entirety and replaced with the following. The seats of the members of the council shall be numbered from 1 upwards. There's a typo here, form 1 upwards, beginning at the left of the president's chair and be determined by the president at the beginning of each council year, and no member shall change his/her seat but by permission of the president. And I also move that this be held until the next meeting.
Second.
Under discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is another one of our rules that is an utter anachronism, and if you read our rules carefully, which they are online, Section 22 says that the president's going to draw lots for the seating arrangement. Obviously, that has not taken place here. It didn't take place last year. It didn't take place. In fact, for at least 25 years, it has not taken place. We have traditions as to how we handle our seating. The senior serving counselor, the dean, sits at that seat. Generally, the next senior counselor sits at the seat on the other side, and the remainder of these assignments are made by the president, either on their own or in consultation with others from preferences and the like, and the president comes up with a seating arrangement, and we sit in them. Well, that's not in the rules either. So I think, while we're dealing with rules, these are the couple of glaring issues that I have seen. One is the committee of the whole going away. The other one is that this rule still sits there and we ignore it every time we organize at the beginning of the year. So just as I think that the first one is a fairly easy decision, I think this one is a fairly easy decision as well. And we should at least make this so it makes sense and lines up with what we've actually been doing for decades, yet it's not in the rules.
Thank you. Any further discussion? There being none. On Councilor Terrio's motion that the matter be held until the next meeting, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Fury.
Yes, please, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Ordered on January 10th, 2019, that the Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, meet to discuss the City Ordinance, Chapter 2, Section 142, compensation of the mayor, and that the mayor or her designee and the city solicitor be invited.
And you move?
Move for adoption.
Move for adoption, please.
Yes, under discussion.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mr. President, fellow members. I have had the distinct honor and privilege to serve with Mayor Salvo, Harrington, Yusevich, and now Mayor Driscoll. I went to many school committee meetings under Chairman Jean A. Levesque. Mayor, I witnessed the increase in challenging responsibility and role of the mayor over the years. Tonight, I am asking the City Council to review the salary of the mayor. Under the salary ordinance cited, we have a window of opportunity until April 2019 to make a difference. We truly need to respect and recognize the role and responsibility of the mayor. Mr. President, you picked 5 very able, experienced city councilors to serve on administration and finance. I'm honored to be one of them. Thank you very much, Mr. President. They can review and discuss with the city solicitor, survey neighboring cities and towns about salaries. We have acted professionally, and to make this an incremental raise over a period of time, the salary of the mayor is very professional. In the past, it has been a political football. That is the last thing it should be. We need to look at the office of the mayor as an elected professional CEO, responsible for all departments, chairman of the school committee, 21st century local and regional government, elected visionary and voice of the city of Salem to lead us into the 400th birthday of our celebration as a distinguished city. We have come a long way. Can you really imagine, sincerely, former Mayor Salvo and Levesque with Twitter, email, and Facebook? I try to look back at them and see Twitter and email and Facebook with those two. And I think they would have relished the opportunity, sincerely. Now it's time to review the salary that attracts the best and the brightest for the 21st century. 10 years ago, we didn't have the iPhone. 10 years ago, 10 years from now, maybe Councilor Toriel can predict maybe a little bit what we're going to have for the mayor in the 21st century. But we need to recognize the role and responsibility of the mayor. This ordinance gives us the opportunity until April to review the salary of the mayor, and I would like consideration by the Administration and Finance Committee, which I am a part of, to be a part of, to go through the process. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Any further discussion? There being none. On Councilor Fury's motion to send the matter to the Committee on Administration and Finance, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Fury.
Thank you very much again. Thank you. Gotta make sure I do it right.
That's it.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, my fellow members. January 10th, 2019, ordered that the Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, meet to petition the General Court for a local sales tax for an entertainment ticket tax, and that the following be invited: the mayor or her representative, the city solicitor, Kay Fox, who spoke earlier this evening, the Chamber of Commerce representative, a Salem Partnership representative, a Council on Aging representative, and representatives of our local neighborhoods, please. And this would, I hope, go to Administration and Finance for discussion.
And you move for?
Adoption.
Discussion?
No.
Move for adoption.
I apologize. Thank you. Move for adoption?
Yes, thank you. Under discussion, Councilor
Yes,
Curry.
please. Thank you, Mr. President. 2 years ago, I came before the city council to ask the police chief, the parking commission, the city solicitor, and the mayor to consider lowering the speed limit in Salem. The state legislature at that time gave cities and towns the option. Boston and Cambridge did it first. I heard about it on WBZ radio, and I wrote on city council stationery to our sister cities and towns to lower their speed limits like us in a collaborative regional effort and approach. And that has worked out very well. And I appreciate all that work that was done by the city council to have the lower speed limit. Recently, John Laylaw, a reporter of the Boston Globe, who used to write for Salem News for many years back in the 80s, and he did a marvelous job. He used to represent and cover the school committee, which I was on back in the 80s, and he would do the same thing that Dustin Luca does as a very professional reporter, taking all sides, looking at the issues, going through 3 or 4 different sources, great deal of information. Now he's working for the Boston Sunday Globe on the local page, North section. He asked me about, in writing, about an article that the state legislature is giving possible permission to cities and towns for the option of a local entertainment tax. Worcester is considering it now as a new home of the Red Sox, Pawtucket Red Sox. They will be the new home, and they have many colleges, museums, and a major convention center in Worcester. So they're actively looking to petition the state legislature in the future for a possible ticket tax for alleviating some of their woes. Mayor Walsh just recently this week of Boston is also looking for increased revenue for the Lyft and Uber fees for the Boston needs. So cities and towns are scrambling around for possible sources of income. I have been fortunate to be an elected official since 1984, and I firmly believe we need to turn the tide of increasing our local real estate and residential and commercial rates that have profound rippling effects on senior citizens like myself. These steady increases have a real impact on us senior citizens and our skyrocketing rents. In the last meeting that we set in December, setting the tax rate, within days, my rent went up as a senior citizen. We increased the local real estate tax. And for some of us to sell our dream homes, to downsize to condominiums and apartments, even on a desperate approach, to relocate. I truly love the city of Salem, and I want to stay in my hometown. We truly need to alleviate the burden of increasing taxes. Last night we talked about low income and affordable housing with long waiting lists. Every option should be on the table for a community-wide conversation in the future to help us in lowering our taxes to smart, creative ideas like a local sales tax offered by the state legislature. Tourism is a major economic engine for our cities and towns in Massachusetts. Visitors and tourists around the world come to Salem, and I believe if we earmark any tax, the tourists could see the benefits and what wisdom it is to invest in the city of Salem and its needs. Even the ancient city of Venice is now asking tourists to consider it. I have been to Venice, and I would favor their needs to invest in the restoration of Venice. Why not Salem? It would be a positive, proactive, preventive maintenance to keep it vibrant, like Venice, like Salem, a jewel to the city, a jewel to the North Shore, and to all of us. We will have 5 recreational marijuana facilities in which we will readily use for widespread and designated needs from aging infrastructures, myself included, crumbling seawalls, hazardous waste cleanup. We talked about Gallows Hill Playground tonight. So I really believe that we can do this positively for our parks and schools and public safety needs for the police and fire department. We tax hotels and motels, the local meals tax, and soon short-term rentals, Airbnbs. As a foster parent to 5 teenage boys over the years, as a retired school teacher for 40 years, and soon to be retired city councilor, I love working at the prestigious Peabody Essex Museum, which is the World War Center for Cultural and Exchange. I supplement my income. yet continue to see skyrocketing rents, fees, and taxes that impact people to have a second and third job. This is my third job. City councilor, retired school teacher, and PBD Essex Museum. So our taxes are going up and taking on third jobs. Some even double up in residences in the city of Salem. There is a deep impact by employers in keeping even the help, even with the state minimum wage going up to $12 an hour, which is a deep injustice to any employee under the real circumstances of 2019. It is getting so expensive in Salem that some are moving to Salem from other cities and towns and commuting. We are driving our own citizens of Salem with increasing rents from $1,700 per month to charging for supplemental fees for pets and parking. A ticket tax or sales tax is not a panacea, nor is it the Lone Ranger's silver bullet to tax plight. It could be one of many tools in the toolbox that we could use. Cities and towns like Salem are strapped for cash. Our city population is increasing, yet our school population is going down and the costs are going up at the high school, decreasing enrollments at the high school. Many cities and towns will give their right arm to have what is going on in Salem. We are a city of 8 square miles, limited access, unlike Worcester. Aging infrastructure, costly hazardous waste cleanups from our industrial past. You can read the Salem News today and the Gallows Hill Park. These are daunting and challenging times. Salem is at a state mandated threshold of low-income subsidized housing. There is a long waiting list to get in. The chronic need for affordable housing, as we discussed last night, and moderate income housing was talked about till 10 o'clock last night. Second hearing. Could have been more if we chose to. For the schools like St. James, and Immaculate Conception, and St. Anne's Church, and the Council on Aging facility, we need it long overdue. We had Mickey Norcroft speak last night at CDC, representing the CDC, and he talked about revitalizing those facilities, like the old Edward School on Rantoul Street in Beverly. We have a very visionary 4-year mayor and a very compassionate city council. We have underfunded pension plans for our public employees in the future. As a community, we need to make a difficult conversation to address depending on the increased local residential and commercial rates. Salem has one of the highest commercial rates in the state. The Salem Partnership, the Chamber of Commerce, neighborhood groups, senior citizens like myself, Kate Fox, who spoke tonight, the Office of Tourism, must be part of the solution, not the problem. If not the local sales tax, entertainment tax, ticket tax, what? What are some of the other options that we need? If not now, when do we address these chronic problems that we have to meet with an over-reliance on local property taxes and businesses too? We need to build a common bonds to smart change and growth. And finally, the local sales tax is not silver bullet, but we can critically need to turn the tide of over-reliance on the local property tax. So I think this would be a very interesting conversation to take place, and I think it's worth discussing as the City of Salem, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Fiore. Any additional comments? Any discussion? Councilman Dore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to suggest an amendment to the at-large counselor that we add Kylie Sullivan from Salem Main Streets to this invitation because she is so involved in local events and works closely with all of the people in this order.
Okay, can you reiterate your motion, please? Your amendment, rather?
My amendment is to add to the invitation Kylie Sullivan from Salem Main Streets, Executive Director of Salem Main Streets, to the invitation.
I consider it a friendly amendment. I'd be glad to add that. That's a very thoughtful.
Councilor Turner, do you second that?
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
I just want to make a quick
Council Sergeant.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know this was brought up some years ago, and we actually lost the vote 6-5. And this has to be sent to the state as a home rule petition and get state approval and all that. But what it does do, it allows any city or town to take advantage of a unique set of circumstances relevant to that town to raise a little extra revenue. Whether it's a tax on ski tickets at a ski mountain, there's a tax on Disney World tickets in Disney World down in Florida. I got a New York Yankees stub at home when we went with the Park and Rec Department to see the Yankees play at Yankee Stadium, and it says right on it, a fee has been paid to the city of New York from this ticket. So this is our unique set of circumstances. During that discussion a while back, we're trying to be convinced that people wouldn't come because of the ticket tax, that they would know about the 4 cents on the dollar. And innocently, I asked the museum, how much is your ticket price this year? And they said $14. And they were arguing that if we put in a ticket tax, it would be $14 and I think 48 cents. People would not come to Salem. So my next question was, how much is your ticket going to be next year? And reluctantly, the man answered $16. So those people will stay home and not come to Salem if the price goes up 48 cents if it comes to the city of Salem. But they'll come if the price goes up $2 and it goes to the museum. And I just didn't see the math and the logic in that, so I think this is worth discussing. Thank you.
Any further discussion? There being none. Under Council Mador's amendment to add Kylie Sullivan.
Accepted by,
I'm sorry?
I accepted that as a friendly motion, so make it, it'll be incorporated into the motion itself. It was a friendly motion, and I said yes. Thank you very much, Councilor Mador.
Thank you, Councilor Fury. On Councilor Fury's motion to adopt, including Councilor Mador's amendment to add Kylie Sullivan from Salem Main Streets, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Any further motions, orders, and resolutions? Councilor Fury.
Thank you. Councilor. Thank you, Mr. President.
Sorry, Councilor Sergeant.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem and City Council, January 10, 2019, ordered that the Ordinance, License, and Legal Affairs Committee, co-posted with Committee of the Whole, meet to review the request of Mr. William Thomas, retired, to increase his retirement compensation based on Mass General Law, Chapter 32, Section 90-C. No discussion.
Thank you.
Late file.
Yep. Since it is a late file, there will be no discussion on it. It'll go right to committee. Councilor Fury.
Mr. President, thank you. It's also a late file. Thank you. January 10th, 2019, ordered that the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, meet to discuss the rules and orders of the City Council relative to Section 38, discharging matters from committee, specifically the last portion of the sentence, or a 2/3 vote of the City Council. Thank you, Mr. President.
Again, seeing that it's a late file, we'll go directly to committee, no discussion. Any further motions, orders, and resolutions? There being none, committee reports. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. The City of Salem, City Council, January 10, 2019, the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs, with whom was referred the matter of granting certain licenses, has considered said matter, recommend approval, C-room, secondhand clothing, secondhand valuable tag disc.
Waive the reading.
Waive the reading.
Waive the reading.
Read the reading.
Under discussion.
No discussion, Mr. President.
Okay.
Accept the
On the
report.
acceptance of the report, under discussion?
No discussion, Mr. President.
On the adoption of the recommendation, all in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it.
Wait, did we not vote on the report?
Communications from city officials.
Quickly, we did. The city clerk submitting 3 applications and resumes that were received by the deadline from residents interested in filling the vacancy of the Community Preservation Act Committee to the Committee on Government Services, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole for their review, and to recommend 1, 2, or 3 names to the full council at the next meeting to fill such vacancy.
Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that this be adopted and received and filed.
Thank you. Under discussion?
No discussion.
Any further discussion? On Councilor Flynn's motion to adopt and receive on file, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Petitions.
We have a petition from National Grid and Verizon to install a jointly owned pole on Harbor Street.
Hearing order, January 24th, 2019. Further petitions.
We have a request from Hawk to hold their annual Hawk Walk and use the city streets on April 28th, 2019.
Councilor Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for this to be granted.
Yeah, under discussion?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I am very pleased to see the Walk for Hog return to Salem again this year. It's a very uplifting event that's been going on for more than 2 decades. I myself had participated in the past and met participants from all over the region, and and they help victims of domestic violence with a lot of services that no other organizations are uniquely positioned to offer. So I urge everyone to approve this. Thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? There being none. On Councilor Mador's motion that this be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Further petitions.
Request from Salem State University for use of city streets on January 19, 2019 for their annual MLK Freedom March.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just point out this is actually Monday, January 21st. That's the date that they're petitioning for. There's a typo in the petition agenda. So it's Monday, January 21st, and I move for adoption. I move this be granted.
Under discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very briefly, this is a event that they've been doing at SSU for several years now. They have a march and vigil as part of their observance of Martin Luther King Day. It's done in partnership with the city, and the university and city police coordinate to make this event work safely. They walk from North Campus to Central Campus and have a vigil there, and it's a very powerful event.
Any further discussion? Councilor Fiore.
Mr. President, indeed it is one of the most powerful events. A great partnership, Mr. President, with Salem State College. Both of us graduated from Salem State University, and it's a great partnership. We remember and recognize and respect the role and responsibility Dr. King played in our lives. With everything going on in the national, state, and local level, we need to pay respects to the drum major for social justice. It's a very moving walk. I brought my family members and different friends and a Big Brother organization along the way over the years, to march by candlelight, to sing the songs of Dr. King, We Shall Overcome. In the darkness of a wintry night on his birthday, there's a living tribute to him and what he stood for, and how much we really need leadership like Dr. King on the national front, international front, to talk about peace and justice for all. And Jeff Cohen spoke very eloquently at the initial of the meeting, and I hope Salem recognizes and respects this day, and for all of you to be invited to march. I think, Mr. President, I've seen you march, and I march with you along the way. It's very, very moving. I get goosebumps just marching, and it's a lovely, poignant tribute to a very wonderful, remarkable man who died all too young to make this country what it is today. And we just said the Pledge of Allegiance this evening with liberty and justice for all. Indeed, he was the drum major for justice. I did many, many plays over the years for Dr. King to remember that man. I met Dr. King's wife over at Endicott University. When she spoke before she passed away, she was like an angel, just to be next to her, Coretta Scott King. I just got goosebumps being next to her. She was there marching with him. And here we are today, 2019, and boy, could we use him? Do we really miss him? And to remember him in that way, thank you to Salem State College, and I think you have good memories too, Mr. President, of marching in that. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments, Councilor Fiore. Any further discussion? There being none, under Councilor Turrio's motion that the matter be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further petitions.
We have the following list of license applications for limousine, public guides, and taxi operators.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that be granted.
Under discussion?
No discussion.
On Councilor McCarthy's recommendation that the matter be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? Voted. Further petitions.
We have a following license application for a taxi operator.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that be denied.
Under discussion?
No discussion.
Any other discussion? There being none, under Councilor McCarthy's recommendation that the matter be denied, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further petitions.
We have the following license applications for seaworms, secondhand valuables, and tag days.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that these matters be referred to the Committee on Licenses, Orders, and Legal Affairs.
Under discussion?
No discussion, Mr. President.
Any further discussion? On Council McCarthy's recommendation that the matter be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs, all those in favor?
Just make the note of the date change on
I just had it.
the band, wind ensemble being
Yes,
June
the band.
2nd.
If I may, Mr. President?
Yes.
Thank
Council
you.
McCarthy.
With regards to the 2 tag days for the band, there is a slight modification in the date. Just looking for everyone's clarification. Just so,
6/2,
6/2
right?
is the way, 6/2 instead of 6/1. So just for everyone's clarification.
Do we need to amend
Typo.
that?
No, it's just a typo. But for the purpose of the record of the meeting, it's moved, the date is actually 6/2.
For the Salem High School Band?
Correct.
Okay. Under Council McCarthy's recommendation to to approve the matter, including the Salem High School Band Wind Ensemble for June 2nd, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further petitions.
We have a following list of drain layer contractor operator license.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that be granted.
Under discussion.
No discussion, Mr. President.
Any further discussion? There being none, under Council McCarthy's recommendation that the matter be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Further petitions.
We have the following list of 6 claims.
Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that these matters be referred to the Committee on Licenses, Orders, and Legal Affairs.
Under discussion?
No discussion, Mr. President.
Any further discussion? There being none. On Council McCarthy's recommendation that the matter be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Unfinished business.
We did it.
Oh, we did this.
Being done.
Council Sergeant? No. Do you have a matter?
Oh, they're being done. That's what I meant.
Point of privilege, Mr. President.
Yes. Council
I'd
Fury.
just like to recognize and respect your first day, our first meeting tonight. You've done an outstanding job. A short, professional, good meeting that you've led. Congratulations on being our new president. And I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned. All those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.